I found more double knit polyester quilts. I didn't buy them, but of course I checked the price and took a closer look at them. I'm Michelle, this is my romantic tangle, and let's go thrifting for craft supplies and cheap antiques and apparently double knit polyester quilts because I keep stumbling across them lately. These were unfinished tops, twin size. The thrift store had them marked at $39.95 each, which boggles my mind because maybe everyone else is out there looking for double knit polyester quilts to finish. I've bought one or two or, ooh, have I bought three? But they were really pretty. They were a great deal fancier than these, and they were only $5. I'm going to have to get those out and maybe take them on this year's quilting retreat and figure out how to tie them because I'm starting to think that we may actually use those. If you remember the really ugly hand-pieced polyester quilts I bought at the Goodwill bins a while back, those are still on my boys' beds, and apparently they are now the favorite quilts in the house as opposed to quilts that I made them. But I'm not complaining. Found some crocheted, I think they were tablecloths, but they were a little heavy for that. They were too light to be Afghans, and I stopped trying to figure out what they were when I spotted this absolutely gorgeous cross-stitched linen. Might have been a tablecloth, might have been a table runner. I did not unfold the whole thing, but just look at that stitching. And at first I thought that this was the back, but no, that was it fold over on itself. Look at the back. The back of my cross stitching will never, ever look like that, no matter how hard I try. And if I'm honest, I don't try because it's cross stitch and the things I make, the back sides are not meant to be seen. They've revamped the craft section a little more and they want a 99 cents each for fat quarters from Joann's. I think some of these were from Walmart, where new fat quarters are 99 cents. I do not understand the pricing. To that unexpected fabric haul, which there was a part 2, and I think there might be a part 3. I'm not buying thrift store fabric, so I shouldn't care what the pricing is. There were some pretty old spools in here, and I was curious about the price, but I could not find a tag on there anywhere. I think they might be taping the tags under where they have the bag sealed, because that's where I found it on something else later on this trip. We can't make it easy for people. Lots and lots of buttons. Those were only $2.99, so if you were doing a Pinterest project that called for that many dark colored buttons, that would not have been a bad deal. I have buttons, I have old wooden spools. They had lots of scrap bags of fabric, but I didn't even look at the prices because I've got fabric at home that is screaming at me to work on it, but I've also got a bunch of other projects that are screaming at me louder. Lots of yarn. I didn't realize until I was looking back at this video that they had sorted it by color because I was distracted by this. My heart jumped, and it's not for sale. It's the first time I have actually seen one of these somewhere that was not a needlework shop, and I understand why they didn't want to sell it, but maybe not take a Sharpie to it. This store is now selling used skeins of DMC for 35 cents each. Tell me if you would pay that, because I know you're not going to get it much cheaper than 50 cents on sale anymore, but you don't know if it's faded. It just, no. And I almost didn't take the camera out in the store, except on the way to the car, I looked out the corner of my eye and I saw milk glass. I don't know if these are milk glass. There was an almost, but not quite quality to them, and they weren't ceramic, I know that much. I am not enough of a collector to be discerning, and honestly not enough to care if it's real milk glass or not. This, I'm sure, was milk glass. It was gorgeous. I don't know if these are grapes or blackberries. I love the shape of it. I love the detail of it. I didn't love it quite enough to spend, I think it would have been $12.50 on it, but this is one of those pieces that makes me stop for a minute and contemplate, do I want to bring this home? Had to get a picture of the three bests because I think you could do something with those for Halloween. I've got Disneyland Haunted Mansion vibes. And I found antiques. Look at that. Is that tiger eye maple? Growing up, I remember Grandma raving about tiger's eye maple. She would buy furniture and keep it for a while and resell it back in the days when the IGA shopper was still a thing and you could take out free ads and have strangers come to your home and buy furniture before the internet. And then later she got the antique mall. So there was always a progression of antiques in and out. This shop is the same charity as the one on where I just filmed the cheap antiques video. The antiques here are expensive. And I'm not an antiques expert, but I don't think they're that much better than the other shop. Some of these pieces look an awful lot like what was here more than a month ago, so I don't think anyone's in a hurry to snap them up. I like this table. It is pretty in the way that I can imaginarily position it in my house without seriously thinking of buying it and bringing it home. You do that, or is it just me? I did find a little bit of milk glass. There are those grape candy dishes that are everywhere. I should have compared the price of the one with the lid and the one without the lid. But I quickly got distracted by this hobnail. I don't know if it's an ashtray. It was really heavy and had a flower in it. They had a couple tubes of Ada and some really old corn husks, which if I was going to make a doll, which someday I will, I could buy new corn husks cheaper at the grocery store. There was also a cute needlepoint stool. On the way home, I made an unplanned detour. Let me know if you would have stopped to pick this up. Thanks for watching. I'm Michelle. This is my romantic